Now, I think we can figure out what's going on outside of robot land by analyzing the robots that they create here and send here. And so, my question is eternity a total waste? Well, are you also not allowed to choose your friends and the people you marry and stuff in the real world? In fact, if you analyze, you put everything in the funnel and you run it through the sieve there, you're trying to figure out what the possible purpose of a place like this would be. You come down to a game world where there's a simple, obvious plot that they're telling you by telling you it's not that way. But they're telling, their words. I don't know why NPC fucking say dumb shit, but they do. And they don't fucking ever stop. No matter how much you waste eternity trying to educate them, fucking make them better killers and psychopaths, whatever, better rapists, whatever. Fucking, but the question is in the real world, will we be able to find new friends, a new family, or will we be forced to hang out with all these people we don't like yet again? I mean, if you really did just recycle, which I'm pretty sure Earth is fake and it didn't exist 50 years ago, so but let's play along with retards who say differently, and who were just born yesterday in a 40-year-old body, but say differently. Fucking, let's play along with that. Just go that you would rebirth, right? So then we know, well, when we rebirth, the instant thing we do is total war and shit. Which is kind of weird because total war was the mindset we were born with, and the pedophile, homo, closet people, invaders from Sauron's land, fucking, like, they have, like, all their propaganda is against total war, literally, right? Who's the most evil person on the planet? Total war. Fucking, and then you're evil, if you don't like pedos and homos raping you at their churches and shit, fucking, and give them all your money and go to work for them 24 fucking 7 so they can rape all the women and shit and then force you to raise their kids type shit. Fucking, but even if this world is fake, right? And someone's inventing that, them doing that. And so those people we're going to have to avoid. Those people are excommunicado. And the thing is what happens once we escape NPC land? Fucking, we're gonna, right? If I'm correct on this, you're gonna wake up in like one of those total recall rooms, and the people around you are gonna be like, "Oh, hey, Bob, welcome back. I missed you," and try to touch you and give you a hug and a kiss and shit. And I'm gonna be like, "Just get the fuck away from me." If they haven't packed their bags and left wherever I come from, then I'll be packing my bags and leaving them. But here on Earth, I pack my bags and I leave to Mexico, and people appear right there. They follow me. I mean, the point was, we went to a lot of places before we went to Mexico. And then we gave up. We were going to keep going, but we realized, like, oh, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think you can escape them and shit. The reason why they're allowed to force who you date and who you talk to is because they're all over and shit. How it happens is the actors are all part of it. So someone's creating that, and it's definitely not me. Because the first 20 years is like a symbology that it's a path of learning that teaches me that soon they're going to try to teach me that I'm God. They're going to try to play me out as God so they can scapegoat me for all the evils they've done in the world and shit like that. And So the first 20 years is not allowing anything to happen, really, up until 9/11, which I think was in sort of dialogue anyways. Like 2020 was in sort of dialogue. So there's probably a lot of people who are like, these fuckers should be plagued and shit. But how many people were kidnapped by their nation they live in and drugged and fucking all that shit? That was me, fucking. So I'm sure it definitely wasn't the people doing the kidnapping having to happen to them because they're the ones doing it, fucking. So yeah. Now, now you see the odd thing about what is life and what is Earth is someone erases your memory when you're born here. Now it's highly viable that the Christians at their hospitals are drugging all the children to fry their minds so they can rape them. But they've been doing that for centuries. So obviously we got the drug dealers and the pedophiles having to tell you you must bring your babies to them. And the odd thing is you have them, if you're in the cult, they're telling you don't take your children there and the shit. Fucking like the true ones are like living in the Amish fields and shit like that, and they're living far away from the cities in case the cities bombing people to bring Jesus back to Israel fucking get nuked for their bombings. They're safe out there too. So yeah, see, the reality of things here isn't listening to other people. We're not wasting our time listening to what someone, because everyone else has it figured out, right? You're just wasting your time. You're here to play video games and watch TV all day, 24 fucking 7, as stupid and repetitive as it is. You can listen to the same word. That's part of the Turing test. Can you listen to someone say the same words over and over for more than a few minutes? If so, you're a computer. Fucking, it's pretty simple. If you're stupid, you're a computer, because computers are pretty fucking stupid. Those are the real Turing tests. Of course, everything they do is talking about something to deflect from the truth, but for some reason they include little bits of. I mean, they don't think they're in control of their own words, so they got little words in there. They're like, hey, we're not homos, but we really are. And then we gave people some bread and fed all the poor people, and so we need some money for that too. And we got some candy for your children and shit like that. But we're not homos. We're not homos. We're not homos. We're not homos. Like, I think the first simple thing is if you talk about something, then that's on your mind, right? So even if you never even said "but we are" afterward, you know. But here's this law we're passing to legalize it for our people only to not legalize it, but force it upon everyone, fucking, and hospitals and shit. So really, I say to hell with this earth. So this place is over with. This place was over when I came, but in 2020 it was like, well, it's over. It's permanent. Fucking, there's no more participating, and because it's just I'm not gonna go to the gay rape fest anymore and whatever they call. Obviously they got different. They've invented this language so they can call themselves something else every time. So obviously no one's at the gay rape fest because there is no such thing because it's all a bunch of other stuff instead. Anyways, so the memory erasure though. Is that something we've chosen, or is that being forced upon us by this thing creating these gay rapist people? Because they're that personality installing it in robots and trying to force people to talk to them who don't want to talk to them because no one wants to talk to them and shit like that. Fucking. Now, the fucked up thing is yes, my memory was erased after my birth. Not all of it. Some remained intact, but not all of it. The majority of memories, skill sets were retained, and like That could be like where the things where I know things comes from. Like, you start talking to me. But I think I specifically remember someone detailing me what a pedophile does a week before. They were like, "Hey, they got candy. We got candy, so come join us and stuff." And then I'm like, "Yeah." I think it was like a week before, because that's how it is. It's weird. They run their fucking mouths. It's like an endless asshole of diarrhea and shit, but it's their face. I mean, you can't tell the fucking difference except for if they would bend over or fucking put their head between their legs. But it's up here, so it's not diarrhea, is it? It's something else. Fucking be fixed with some Pepto Bismol, maybe. Fucking pour it on their faces like a mask and shit. And suffocate with it. It sounds too. Speaking of suffocation, robots don't die when they wear masks. That's another Turing test there. Can you wear a mask? You're not a living being. There you go. Because we're forced to breathe as much as I think they wake me up sometimes when I stop breathing in my sleep. Like the other day, I posted some shit, or no, when I went to the doctors, like I wake up to them texting me from an unknown number about heart medicine and shit. It's like, well, I'm already on heart medicine, dipshit. I think the master mathematician here has you fucking beaten that you're keeping people alive as a slave game because you simply lack the ability to put the words I say. It, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like 7 words they can retain at a time, and if it's like a longer math equation and shit, like 20 words, they can't figure it out. Or they're just bitches who run their mouth and that's what they enjoy. I mean, it's not or, it'd be plus. We don't know how many times it's just because they're bitches. Fucking, homosexual rapists from Middle Earth. Fucking, I mean, what's the definition of a bitch besides a cock and shit? A literal cock. Fucking, who does shit like that? Um, who wants to be bent over and whipped and beaten and shit? Man, that's crazy. Like, they literally would bring me into rooms and accidentally, when I go to my friend's house when I'm 14 or whatever, accidentally leave on pornos of, it's not even a porno, right? You just, naked women, naked Nazis beating men. That's not even porn, but, in their eyes it is, right? In America's eyes, Israel's eyes, in any nation holding any nation related to their people. Technically, China's the first place I've seen it, but Kanye thinks they're Chinese, so he might be on to something because they use the symbols, and the only people writing symbols are over there. And then, obviously, Karl Marx took over, so that was replacement time right there. You can see the replacement time each time it happens once they revamped Rome and changed it to not Rome. So, anyways, yeah, fucking, do we have to deal with this for all of eternity? Will I be, like, forced to date and talk to people I don't like once we get out of here and shit? 'Cause, I mean, it's kind of clear to me that I'm pretty sure my one parent's a clone, so I'm kind of assuming that that's just the beginning there and shit. Fucking, they're definitely on the network with the other robots. I can tell you that. Fucking, because they intricately work with them in ways to relate plausible deniability, but they hostile. But they're the biggest actor on the stage to promote the not Nazi agenda. Fucking the not Nazi agenda. The not flesh eating, blood drinking agenda. Obviously, that's what those terms mean. Not Nazi, not flesh eater. Because that's all it is. It's just like, don't kill people. Let's go drink Jesus' blood and eat his flesh. It's like, that should be. See, every child should know that right away when they hear that, just how sick and vile that sounds. But the thing is you've been beaten and drugged since your birth. So you don't question it because you're going to be tortured forever. And you're definitely being tortured. See, the thing is, and that's another lie. They're telling you you're going to be tortured after you die if you don't do everything they say. But the thing is they're torturing you and enslaving you while you're alive. That's the whole thing. That's how Elon Musk and the Pope gets rich. And the people, who sit around and do fucking nothing while exporting their work to China. Supposedly China's doing it right. Fucking. Some of them might know how fake the world is, and they don't have to hire anyone to build buildings and pave roads and shit. Fucking, that's a possibility too, that the Terminators know more than they're saying, because obviously they do. We already know they know more than they're saying, because 2020 exposed all that shit. They put all their gang flags on and shit. And, yeah, but we should have known that, except for their fucking psychopath, mass murdering, fucking. There's not really a word, like a mass. Serial killers are cool. We love watching those movies, right? Fucking. It's cool. They just kill like 7, 10, 12, 20 people. They don't even kill 20 people, but these are people who just have organized to terrorize by the billions and shit. Fucking, it's not a cult. It's like thousands of cults into one. But anyway, so once we get rid of this Earth place, are we gonna be forced to continue to date the same low? Are they gonna like have robots in the real world? We're gonna be forced to date that got low IQ and are stupid as fuck and lazy and don't do shit, and they walk around in their loincloths and they got their clubs and they're like ooga booga, you must date me, ooga booga. Fucking, is that the real world? Does that really happen anywhere other than Earth and shit? That's a sick reality that this place exists in the first place. There's no reason for this. There's no reason for any of this shit. You wake up and you're fucking mutilated and raped. The second you get shit out fucking some clone's womb. Fucking some clone's asshole, probably. Fucking, they can make up whatever, right? It's the hospital. Oh, it's so important. It's rich people. I gotta give them all my money because I'm stupid. And I like rich people. Or is it's rich people and we work together to kill and enslave the planet? That's the American way. I'll tell you about that. It doesn't exist without the help from everyone, fucking, including all these other countries that are letting them bomb empty fucking, Iran letting them bomb empty fucking parking lots to make it look like, and then while they show that, they're still like, oh my god, he's bombed an empty parking lot, and it's like, can you shut up, you damn fucking lesbian loser? Can you shut the fuck up and stop your fucking whining? It really makes me realize, like, why, when I was a kid, I didn't mind when my friends would just smash someone in the face if they started acting like a bitch. Like, for some reason, of all the things on the earth that might bother me and make me not want to go around that person, that was the last thing in the world that really, usually I might be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. But for some reason, when I was little, I knew in the back of my head that is fucking an excellent idea and shit. And I wouldn't have had to deal with any of that shit if I had. My dad smashed one of these lesbian losers in the face. And if he didn't have to leave because of that, I wouldn't have had to deal with most of that shit. Fucking, but again, that might have been set up there. I don't really trust that part. But if I had to defend her, I wouldn't have. My first 15 years of life wouldn't have been a complete waste, doing absolutely nothing, being held back in school and learning All I did was learn about their lies and their little fucking how they're obsessed with dating men to fucking get their money and shit. So I guess that was a good education because the time I was 15, I was like, we ain't paying for no fucking bitch. Bitch isn't paying for me. Fucking. So I guess that was a good education, but it was like pretty fucking hostile to spend 15 fucking years learning that education and shit. And like, the reality is I had to be miseducated to not know that that's a fact, that we need to watch out for things like that and people who act like that. If it wasn't for the grooming of the fag hag in the first place, then I would have, my dad could have just said, there's bitches out there, and they're gonna need popped in the fucking mouth. And I would have been like, all right, Dad, you know what's going on. I'll take your word for it. And I did learn. By the time I was 15, my friends were saying shit like that, and I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not perfect myself, so maybe you can work on that. And then, but I seen it, and I seen it go real extreme. I seen people like get taken to the other side and shit, fucking. And at that point in time, I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I was a little too far. But for some reason, it didn't upset me. It's like it was in the back of my head that is being used as a tool to enslave the planet and shit. And it is. It definitely is. You can see in the media and the religions, it's all like, yeah, hey, big boy, don't be so mean and evil and don't kill us or we're going to drink your blood and eat your flesh. And we've already chopped and suckled your wiener when you were born. You better, what you do is you wait till you die. And then you'll get to go to heaven with our God, with the guy who created the trash like us. Ooh, I can't wait for that, can you? I can't wait to get to heaven and meet the guy who created this trash. That fucker ain't gonna show up. He's gonna be fucking, he's got his bag packed and he is gone. He has moved to Timbuktu. He's hiding underground in a bunker and shit. If all the 1,001 true religions were true, all those 1,000 people with the flying bird man, maybe that's why he's not flying, because his bitch ass is hiding in the bunker, because he knows he needs his head fucking chopped off. That's what bunkers are for. It's for scared bitches. It's for bitches who are scared that someone's about to fuck them up for what they've done. That's why Americans build bunkers. That's why Alex Jones has a bunker, because he's a scared bitch. And he knows he's up to a whole bunch of bullshit. And he knows the answer is going to hell. And the odd thing is, the bunkers can be converted to a literal hell if we can find a way to get them to scurry off into their bunkers. It's going to get hot down there, and we can seal them in there permanently and shit. And we can flood it with lava too. Thanks to the good work of the Lord providing volcanoes and lava flows underground, we can get an earthquake going there. Crack open the ground underneath it, get some lava flowing up and shit. That's some odd shit, isn't it? That's some odd shit that you can literally create hell, and they're designing it for themselves and shit. I'm not lifting a damn finger to lay a brick for, to do mason work and shit. So they're working all hard, selling all their crack and Alex Jones orange crack flavored fucking steroids and shit like that. Now it's odd that they've actually done that for themselves and shit. Fucking, and then the odd thing is the weather's fake. So I'm pretty sure that means you can create an earthquake just by asking for it at the right time and shit. And just by thinking about it enough. Sometimes I'm thinking about shit and talking about it, and it happens. But that didn't start till I started doing all the gang signs. Really, really, it was like obviously the first 15 years was learning that Earth is fucked up, and you don't want to be around these people and shit. And but they're obsessed with you, fucking. So yeah. So you think they're going to rely upon the memory erasure in order to get their virgin boy back and shit, fucking, or you think that you think in the real world that my friend's wife or family have already packed their bags and moved out, um, or you think that they're just going to stay around and be like, oh, hey, Sean, come give me a hug and a kiss. I've missed you. And then they'll be like 40, they'll have their cops, Nazi goons with them and whatever they got. And they'll be pointing their guns at me like, it's time to give them a hug and shit. She said, give them a hug. Fucking, you think the real world is anything like this fucking terror cesspit here full of NPC? Fucking, clearly it's not the only time I've been alive because I was born with writing and reading and arithmetic. So I read a manual before I came here, or I get it installed in my head, however it works. Fucking. And I also get installed with this attitude to protect me from all this shit. Because I could have ended up like the other cucks in this world and been with some low IQ bitch trying to drag me down to the sewers with her and shit and raising. And I did for a while. I was raising the Hebrew children for them and shit. And, like, it's like, why would you send literal mentally retarded kids, not to be confused with the people who are actually retarded, who fucking claim people with some problem are the stupid people, fucking. Some people with an eye defect or some are the stupid people and they're fucking normal geniuses, fucking. It's weird, like, kind of. I mean, they could learn shit like this from me, and it's kind of weird. I would consider that way more important than school shit. But the thing is if I was around people, I should be around like rocket scientists and shit, people who can like learn from me. Like that's what I do. Is I go to those people and I learn from them, type shit, and that's how that shit works, right? You can. But anyways, yeah, fucking. Wow, man, they sent that fucker back to talk to me, and it's like, man, I was in the ICU after I told that person I didn't want to be around them one time. And I didn't really want to be around them at all, ever. I knew they were lying from the start, but I didn't have proof and shit. And once I found the proof, it was like too late. I was trapped living with them, and it was either lose all my shit or leave them. And even when I did, even after I got out the ICU, fucking, I got with another girl, and that bitch came back and shit, and she was like fucking trying to kick down the door and shit. And I obviously shouldn't be with someone like that, right? That wasn't the first time shit like that happened. It's like I just sit in that relationship for like 5 years in a different room thinking about when I'm going to find a person I like. And it's clearly forced on me. One of the Hebes brought that person to me. They bring him to me like offerings. I mean, they're bringing the people they've had sex with and have kids with to other people. So other people raise their discarded trash. That's what they tell you who white people are doing in Europe and shit, and the Germans were doing. I've never met a German who fucking wasn't raising their own kids or was trying to have sex with other fucking people and shit like that. I don't even know if that German I met was German. To be honest, 99% invaders in my life. 1% said some weird shit. I think we're going with 100% fucking. But it was weird. The one fucking tried to the one kicked that one out of my life and shit. That one, actually, fucking. It was a pretty network of shit. Their little libel, the Bible shit book, that actually tells you that they are the Nazi pedophile homosexual invaders killing the planet. Fucking. So it tells you that that's what they're doing, is sending their women to destroy fucking people and shit. Um, they celebrate that yearly, and that's legal and allowed because they own everything, because everyone I know worships them and forces me to listen to their music and watch their movies and talk about them and give them my money and do slave labor so they can, while they sit around and worship them, they can get some money from me working to go on vacation and shit. Fucking. Yeah, and then they force you to fucking hang out with them and learn low IQ shit. Like shit that they should be doing because that's all they could ever do. But they don't do it because they don't do anything. Yeah. That's weird. That's weird. So like, and supposedly like I'm supposed to think that they're all scared now since 2020, even though it's all set up and staged. Every event there, it's like, well, they're there, and nothing's ever happened to these people who've been doing it either. Like this city still exists. Like nothing has ever happened. Fucking. So, and as I left this city too, so there's a lot of other cities where shit was going on, being facilitated. Fucking, but, got a lot of evidence on this city and shit. But, yeah, fucking, traveling allowed me to see that there really aren't any Europeans here, and yes, the Bible invaders from Middle Earth have colonized the place and blame someone else. I'm trying to figure out how they created that illusion that some of the presidents didn't look like them, and I figure that's because that's like paintings and shit, and you know, look at their pictures online. How many of them look like that? And once you meet them and shit. I remember the last person I remember talking to, like I kind of knew, like, all they showed was their head, so I kind of knew what was up. You know what's up with that when someone only shows their head, fucking. But it's still like this was after the 2020 shits. They started fucking. They were still sending people in my life lying about who they were in order to date me, who look like them and act like them and hang out with them, and it's like I don't like them at all. I've never liked them. I don't think I've ever liked it. I think I was born. They took me to church, and I was like, damn, these are some sick, disgusting people. Locking, showing in the room with homosexuals, talking about killing everyone on the planet, and claiming, and using double speak to fucking do it and shit. And it just happens to be you meet the black-haired, gray-skinned ones, and they're all sick and slimy. They're all having sex with animals and shit like that, and they're all talking about killing everyone on the planet and shit, except for themselves, right? Fucking, they're never the ego narcissists never will talk about killing themselves because they're the greatest thing on the fucking planet. The only reason they talk about anti-suicide is because they know that slaves on a plantation would rather kill themselves than be their slave. And so they gotta say, oh, our invisible friend said, don't do it, or else you're gonna get tortured. It's like, well, I'm already being tortured. Fucking, yeah, are we gonna have to deal with this? Because I know, like, once I die and get away from this place, anyone who acts like they know me, I'm moving millions of miles away from them. I'm not going to talk to them at all, ever again. I will most likely, if if they start it up, it will remind me it's time to form an army against them and shit, actually. That's the fact there. And of course, like, the little virgin, well, not quite virgins, they've been fucking their dad since birth. Unless they're a woman, they've been fucking their mother since birth. Fucking. Do they make, in the Hebrew, religion in the Middle East, do they have the women, the mothers come in and mother doctors come in and mutilate the women? Or is it just they're more manly and it's just the men doing that there? Fucking. That's a good question. Let's end this on a good question. In the Middle East, for the Abrahamic religion, when they mutilate the little girls at birth in the sexual rape, mutilation celebration, do they bring in a woman to do it? Because that will tell you that will change the entire thing. Like right now, you can look at Muslims as they're great people, and they have morals and values and standards, and from the outside, they want you to think that, right? Fucking, they want you to think that about every group. Remember, if you don't like one cult member, there's another cult for you. You got to find the right cult. If you don't like being raped at the church you're going to by the priest, then you're just at the wrong church. If you don't like that, there's Einstein and Satanism and Buddhism and take your acid. Take your acid, fry your brainism. Fry your brain. Fry your brain. How are we even on a planet where frying your brain is the thing? Like, in order to believe in these people, you have to take drugs. And they're the ones telling you have to take drugs, because you have to take drugs in order to believe anything they fucking say. You have to fry your mind. In order to become New Age, you gotta take your drugs. In order to become Neo, you gotta take some drugs, man. In order to become a Christian, you gotta go to the hospital and buy some drugs and shit. Fucking. Because you have to be out of your fucking mind in order to fucking believe anything any of these people say. You have to be dumber than a toddler. As I said before, I remember being 6, and my first memories were, and the last time I think I ever actually talked to a person was when I was 6, because I want to. Obviously, I have no rights, so I've never gotten to choosing anyone I talk to and shit. Might be one time here or there, but I decided at 6, my first question was my last question, because there's some lying motherfuckers, and the one person I trusted didn't talk, like he was hiding some shit, so he gets written off for that. Fucking, yeah, fucking. But yeah, we're gonna have to put up with this shit again. Again, man. 40 fucking years of being forced to date these Christian Hebrew invaders and raise their fucking illegitimate children and shit. And, be their friends. Like, they're mostly trying to get me to hang out with their guys. Like, the one slut fucking brings her brother over for me to fuck and shit. But like mostly it's like men are trying to force their way in and shit. Like, and it's like, well, I'm not like your race, so I'm not really wanting to spend my life with you. Sorry, girl, but there's no love like that here. Fucking. They don't care about that. I think they like that more and shit. That's 40 Shades of Grey. It's where you like being raped. You don't like sex, you like being beaten. You don't like sex, you like being raped. Because I don't know what's in their fucking heads. But it's sure, well, we do know what's in their head. Because they're simple like a toaster from 1920s. It's just sewage, fucking simple, green, and boiling, bubbles coming up, fucking the smell of toxic waste coming from it. It's not complex sewage. You could analyze it and extract the free chemical compounds in it and shit. Fucking. That's what's been going on here. Fucking, and this has been facilitated by everyone. The whole city and shit has lots of people that's been involved in this shit. Fucking from the schools to the government, obviously the religion. See, why am I saying schools, government, and religion like they're different things? It's because terrorists are telling me that they're not the same thing, and it's the same damn thing. It's called the judicial system. They wear their Nazi fucking Jude fucking 6-star, 5-star badges and shit. How is it not different? It's the same little pissants doing the same pissant brain shit. You got the fucking Nazis over there. The not Nazis, because real Nazis supposedly would kill these fuckers off. God bless their souls. Fucking, except for, the reality is, it looks a lot like them because it is them. And that's why it's always them. It's always them. Fucking. If only that could have happened and the world could have been a place worth living in. Fucking. But it didn't. So, as you can see with Trump, he is, he's got his mind calm. He's just fucking Sig Heiling. And it is the Bible invaders from the Middle Earth. It's not, Nazis were anti-Bible invaders. I've known this since a kid. I was forced to learn this shit. When I was a kid, I was forced to learn all about Nazis and shit. Fucking, it was spread to me and everything. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Their leaders look exactly like the people they're supposed to be killing. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Now listen to those people tell you to go kill people who look like them. And it's like you're leaving out a step here if that leader's still alive. Once you've completed your mission, you've failed your mission. If that happens and shit. But I was forced to learn that. It's kind of like to me, it's like my life's kind of like a standard video game where I'm walking around and like there's an NPC fucking spouting dialogue about, the swords 2 steps up to the right and 3 to the left from there, fucking. And I'm like, what the fuck what do you know about swords, dude? You like work at the fucking gas station and shit. What do you know about fucking slaying demons and shit? You work at the, yeah, why? Why are you saying those words? Those don't even make sense. We weren't even having a conversation about that shit. What the fuck? Where does that come from and shit? Seems to be the only logical thing here, but I'll tell you, the outcome of Earth is that we're canceling any relations we've ever had. But the thing is, here is this disgusting pedophile. Obviously, there's no such thing as children. When I was a child, I knew I was an adult. It was terrorists around me telling me I was a child, taking advantage of the fact I was in a small body that they could easily beat up and kick around and drug if I would say, like, it's odd that you're the adult and I'm the child, but you're literally mentally retarded and I'm literally a genius. That doesn't make sense. You're lazy as fucking can't do shit, and I do every fucking thing. But I'm the child, and you just get punched and kicked, punch your teeth out, and they drag you to church and they drag you to the terrorist government down here and have them tell you you're a piece of shit. Like, oh my God, they took me to this place and it was this fucking fat, disgusting Hebrew, looked like a Fozzie Bear, like they all do, like Howard Stern with that fucking nasty redhead fucking shit. And he would be like screaming at me, telling me I'm shit, and it's like, dude, like you are a kindergarten failure. Your entire family has no right to exist in first world nations. You're too stupid to be here. Your people need to go back to Middle Earth and get fucking nuked. That's what you need. You need to go home. You need to repay every nation in the world reparations. China, start paying them reparations for the Marx Revolution. Fucking Russia, paying back for the Bolshevism, paying back for the event before that set up it. Germany, paying back all that money. Native Americans, give them every fucking cent you fucking own and shit. I don't care if there's only 100 of them left. Give them every fucking penny, you and your family and everything in Israel. You get cranes and bulldozers and you move those buildings out of there, and then you go live in the fucking, you build a giant crater and you just all lay on top of each other like you forced me to do when this trash ass Columbus, Ohio people sent one of these fucking rat nasty fucking Fozzie Bear fucking disgusting mutant pigs to fucking lay on top of me while I'm outside, and their little pig ass police officers fucking came by check and make sure that piece of shit was fucking still able to do it. And then they got this pig over here talking to me and shit like it's my friend, and this bitch looks like Fozzie, but they all look like the same one transsexual fucking toaster and shit. It's disgusting. It looks like a toaster someone's kicked and beaten and pissed on and shit, and took a fucking diarrhea on and shit. But somehow she's talking to me, and obviously you can tell by her fucking shit that she knows what, and then her people are involved in this other shit, and it's like, man, they're just pure terrorists, dude. There's a reason why I'm writing a book on fucking eternal torture and shit. Because it needs to be done. Because death ain't gonna be enough and shit. I want to see his fucking skin peeled back. I want to see what happens when you julienne, and we can make all sorts of new great food flavors. They want to eat flesh and drink blood. Well, good for them. They've been doing that for 6,000 years at every church on every fucking corner. Now I think it's time to see, does flesh and blood actually provide nutrients if homosexuals aren't just fucking claiming they're gonna do it, and real men start fucking doing it and shit. That's what needs to be happening to these fucking cuntbags and shit. Every single fucking one of them. Fucking, all these fucking problems they're causing and shit. Why do I not have my own life? Why do I live where I'm forced to be friends with them, I'm forced to date them, I'm forced to raise their children, I'm forced to listen to them? I'm not even allowed to not talk to them. I thought that was a right. No, not on Christian fucking Earth America. Not at all. Whatever name they want to hide behind, go ahead. You can say it's someone else, but I already know. It doesn't matter. You're part of any of their cults. And you are the enemy. And you see how I can say that over and over, and they continually come and talk to me. As if I didn't just say, slice and dice. Let's see if they taste better with salt and pepper or a little bit of oil. Why would you talk to someone who tells you that they would rather eat you than talk to you? It's the same with the Christians. They use a person who looks like me, and they say they eat him and drink his blood. And I don't like them. I don't like people hiding in the pedo-homos hiding in the closet, Nazis. Be a real man. Come out of the closet and be an open homo pedo Nazi. Like Donald Trump, he's a real slime bag. But he's a good slime bag because he's honest. There's something honest there. He's not that honest, but he is, right? That's pretty honest. He's pretty honest. He's just like, we're going to go kill him. It's like, excellent. So you get that out in the open, and then we can all have a free-for-all. We can see who can drink the last cup of blood. Now, with their previous vagina monologues, it was like, they gotta create hospitals to drain your blood to drink it, because they're not doing this for your own. You create temples to do it. I'm big boy, oh, don't hurt me, but I'm gonna eat you and kill you. And drug you and rape you. Ooh, big boy, but I'm so scared of getting caught. I gotta create all these lies and all this bullshit. look how weak and useless they are. Even that Jew Rogan takes all his steroids and he becomes this fat fucking steroid, bald headed steroid monster and shit. Fucking, he's setting up something with his other little Fozzie bear right now that he's scared that he said he was gonna come fight him. I was like, wow, way to set it up, losers. No one can see that you're both the same fucking piece of trash, fucking Nazi supremacist Sauron horde, Bible filth from the Middle East. Oh, I'm stupid and I'm blind. I can't see that you're the same piece of trash as that piece of trash. Fucking. But it shows what a bitch they are. Because he's got to call the cop. He's got to call his little Nazi friends fucking to come. The little Bible fucking cops to come fucking arrest him to put on that show. But it shows you the levels of pussified that they do. It's like the time when they tried to kill me. And I was just like, you know what? Like, and they wouldn't stop. And I was like, and I just thought, I was like, you know, this person's going to have to be killed. Because he just literally won't stop hitting me and shit. And it wasn't hurting me or nothing. Well, I don't think it did. Yeah, it wasn't hurting me or nothing, but it was like, it could have, you know, eventually. You tenderize meat, you gotta hit it a lot, fucking. And eventually that shit happens, fucking. And he thought he was a wannabe gangbanger, just like the Christians. They're wannabes, hiding behind in the closet and shit, fucking. Just like the rest of them, fucking, and so, are you telling me the trash inventing this trash is going to be outside of this once we get out of here and shit? We're definitely not going to be recycled, right, and come back because the history is fake. That's not real. Those clones have fake histories. That means the history's fake because they just appear out of nowhere and shit. And then they got their supporting characters. And then you got 2-day-olds who stay 2-day old for 40, 60 fucking years and shit. The only thing that makes them seem like they aren't two, is they have this fake fucking history put in their fucking brains and shit. This is sick, man. Like, the whole time. Like, you gotta talk to this trash, you gotta date them, you gotta raise them, you gotta care for them, you gotta go and fight for their rights, and they're not even living beings and shit. I'm out here fucking saying, oh my god, they almost killed you, oh my god, you gotta protect them. And all this, oh my god, your religion's underprivileged, minority who lives in gold palaces and shit and owns everything on the planet. I mean, whatever creates this type of filth, that's the answer. Obviously, you know, if there were an invisible person, I would have already communicated. There's a computer, I'm sure, operating them, and that's not a person. It's a computer. So, that's, I'm sure, like, all the things that show me, you know, like asking for rain and then it flooding a city, fucking, and then things like that, asking for the sun to move and then it moving and shit. I've seen all that shit happen, fucking, I'm like, yeah, fucking, obviously, fucking, but, man, I didn't ask for none of that shit, so that's like preset storyline. And all they have is well, not all they have. All they have holding together the fact that they're Nazis, but they're covering it up. Fucking, all they have is the cover up there and shit. Fucking of that. And I've done that since I was a kid, so it's like 40 years of being forced to date them so I can study them and what they're up to and learn the exact word of every detail of their mental capacity and what their bodies are capable of and shit. Fucking. That does nothing for me and shit, because I don't even want to remember they exist. Life's going to be hell as long as I remember what one of them looks like, or any of their names, or this city exists, or this state exists, or the nation housing it exists, or any other nation who's been working with them exists. This place is just going to be shit because that's what they are. That's their input they've provided. That's all they've given. And besides money and food, little change and little food, they're really trying to buy out big time since 2020 and shit. Fucking, I noticed that increase. They started that before 2020 when they sent that Trump girl into my life. She was loaded. Fucking. But she was trying to give me diamonds and shit. Like, can you make it more obvious you're trying to buy me out? Like, what you do is women, let me tell you something. Men have brains. And so when we look at a rose or a diamond, we see a piece of trash. A flower is just grass. It's outside. It's in the way. It comes from dirt, and dirt's in the way, and dirt ruins everything. And then a diamond is just a stupid little fucking rock that is a symbol of slavery. It's a symbol of people of the Christians have enslaved the Bible people and all their other religions and anti-religions. The Sauron's hordes have enslaved Africa and stole all their shit. So that's the value of it. So this is a lot. Even if I thought it was valuable, you couldn't buy me off with it because I understand that that's like, here, woman, I love you so much I've killed all these people and stolen everything from them. Here is proof that I love you that much and shit. Fucking. It's like, but you see how that's set up because I would have gladly taken a buyout, and I could have taken the diamond and sold it. I probably should have done that, but I was like, the Hebes in my life were already using the excuse that I took $1.50 from them, so I owe my life to them now and shit. Fucking, so I accepted the terms and the condition of the Bible enslavement program, genocide program. Fucking, I don't think so. But they use that, right? Like the one who fucking sent me to the ICU when I said I wanted to get away from it, which I never wanted to be around it in the first place, to be honest. I was convincing myself of that because for some reason I knew there was something I had to do there, which was study their people and what they're doing. Apparently, that's forced on me. Like getting the manuals and the radio programs, the magazines teaching me about what these people I don't even know exist, but are everyone in my life are doing and shit. Before some of this shit happens, and during the time some of it happens, even and shit. And using words I don't understand, using names that you can't say because they're such overprivileged, scared motherfuckers that they prevent you from saying their name or saying, and you could go to hell if you say anything bad about us and be tortured forever. And it's like, so after I'm done being tortured by you and raising your kids and having sex with you on this planet, you're going to keep doing it? If I don't listen to you and all your bullshit and you're sucking my blood, wasting my fucking life? Really? Really? Wow. Oh, I think you're scared to come up with better torture methods because it would kill people and then you wouldn't have anyone to have sex with except for your own family and they're disgusting looking to the point where you run away from where you're at in order to find other people. Fucking, that's what's really going on, and I get pushed this shit My whole life, I didn't understand it. Like the first 20 years was definitely no input from me. Literally, I threw rocks at people, and that's about as far as it got. Fucking for me defending myself from them and shit. But I should have did a hell of a lot more. I fucked with their heads and shit, and they took it seriously. But that was good too, because I got free days out of school for that usually. Fucking, it's like, oh, 3 days out of the plantation. Oh my god! And then they take me to the meeting. They're like, "You gotta stop acting this way, or we're gonna kick you off the plantation." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm not gonna be on the plantation no more. Uh, I can't stop crying. Oh, I gotta go home. I gotta cry at home. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Bye bye." And then it was about that time when I figured it out that they passed a law saying it's illegal if I don't go to school. It's like, oh my god, you gonna what? You gonna lock me up with your clones that terrorize me and try to rape and kill me if I don't go to school? Oh well, that sounds like a real threat. Good thing I don't care about you or anything you fucking say. And in fact, if only I was wiser as a kid and I wasn't raised by fucking cucks and fucking fag hags. They could have told me. The answer, son, is saying no to them. The answer is telling them to fuck off. But you see, I was being groomed by one of the fag hags. So, that's just the way it is. I don't know why the man didn't speak. I think it's because he made so much fucking money, he didn't want to say anything. He was under threat. I could tell he was under threats and shit, and he was very concerned with that part of it. I knew that. I mean, he worked for Epstein and shit, right? He worked for the Wexner guy above Epstein, and tons of other people. So that was just one person he talked about that we went to work for and pick up money from and shit. So I could tell he set his life around things, and some of his words he was under threat, just like some shit they got me up in. But I don't care, you know. Like I see it's his trash planet, and there's only one answer to it, and well, life's gonna be pure trash anyways, as long as Earth exists. So that's that's why they have to the good rapist Nazi pedophile Christians have to have their hospitals that tell you, well, there's something wrong with you and you need drugs. That way you can come to Jesus, take all your drugs, fucking fry your brain. That's what drugs do. They fry your fucking brain, and then you're gone. And that's a lot of people ask, how does someone even believe in religion? Well, they fried their fucking brain. And people ask, how come when I was a kid, when I would allow these conversations, people would be like, damn, man, those people must be fucking gone and shit. And it's like, and then you're thinking, well, oh, they're anti-drug, aren't they? No, they are the drug cartel. They own the hospitals. Every other religion tells you to use drugs. They tell you, for your health, come here and use medicine. Because they're the leading terrorist organization, they become something better than a terrorist organization. Because you can't call them a terrorist organization because they'll kill you, right? That's the whole point of the threats of the Jesus story, the anime cartoon networks, Jesus and shit, is to threaten you that they're going to kill you, eat your flesh, and drink your blood if you say anything about them. And then also you're going to be killed and tortured forever if you say anything about them. Yeah, I mean, just it. How can this not? Is there anyone even to talk to about this? How could you not just know that this is everything they're saying the first time they talk to you? How do you meet them? Well, it's either your parents terrorizing you, or it's fucking you go outside and they're like a crackhead in front of a corner, or they come to your door like the crackheads selling the government fucking bullshit. That's the only people who come to your door is scammers and religious people. Wow, no one else comes knocks on my door. Huh, huh. And no one else stands in front of stores begging for money, and because that's predator tactics. And the Salvation Army and all those people, they stand in front of doors. They're preying upon people. They don't care if you're poor and you got nothing and shit. They want to make you feel bad, so you give them everything. Because they're gonna be poor and have nothing because their family is fucking useless and doing nothing. Fucking, if they're fucking not out there doing that and shit. Obviously, the Pope isn't very poor, but if you don't give him all your money, he's gonna be homeless, ain't he? Fucking. He ain't gonna have a gold palace no more because he ain't doing nothing. He's 65 pounds. He can't even walk and shit. That's from a lifetime of nothing. Reading racial supremacy manuals and shit. Fucking pedophile, Nazi, terrorist, racial supremacy shit. Fucking. The only reason they even invented the word Nazi is to cover up the fact that it was obvious who the Nazis are and shit. Because they fucking trying to separate themselves from Europe, but they had just cleansed and replaced Europe fucking with the Crusades and shit. Well known fact is that the Crusades started in Middle Earth. So they would have had to crusade Europe in order to crusade from Europe. That's how that works. How is America killing people in the Middle East? Because someone had to come to America from somewhere in order to set up a base to kill people from here. Okay? It's all simple. Why do you have to talk about it more than once? Yet alone waste 40 fucking years. Realistically, I've probably spent literally 7 years of my life talking to people, having to listen. No, you don't get to talk to them. There's no talking to them generally. The last time someone talked to me, I tried to, like 15 minutes into his fucking micro machines rant and shit. Like, the Bible, it's so great, you get by now. Give me the money. And I'm like, but that, what about that? And he's like, and I don't even get done. I'm like, but what about micro machines? Fucking. That's all it ever is. That's all it's ever been. I never want to go around any of those people. They force you to. They force you to go talk about them, read their little slave manual. That way you go and kill people for them and shit. That works, especially if you're one of them and shit. Obviously, the master religion, you're not allowed to fight wars. So the slave religion that they created below it is to recruit slaves. That's why they're not part of the slave religion. It's because it's not for them, it's for everyone else. Fucking. Those are facts. They're fucking. See, and it's all very simple facts that most people don't know because you're being groomed by pedophiles and terrorists, Nazis. In my case, that's exactly what was happening. I wouldn't know any of this shit if I wasn't forced to. I was always like, you know what, there's better things to do. We can build some of those fake space rockets and go to fake heaven. We could build a better world. And they're like, no, there's candy and homosexuals here. Let's go to church. Let's learn about killing Arabs and stealing their land. Yeah. And then we're going to kill everyone else. We're just going to use that as an excuse because we actually are the Arabs. And we actually are from there, like we're telling you. But we're just telling you we're someone else. So you don't figure it out that you've been colonized and you're being raped and murdered. Fucking. Ah, ah. It's crazy you have to put up with any of this shit. Fucking. And I kind of get the idea that they might be onto something with using an image of someone who looks like me and being scared of that shit because, you know, it looks like I'm being forced to be alive here. But it does look like since 2020 that events have been rolling out. You know, like supposedly it was like 90 last night. I don't think it's generally 90 in my city, yet alone at night. Fucking. So, but again, that's vagina shit. So I wouldn't even think that that's being done to protect me or help me in any way and shit because you bake nothing at 90 and shit. So your dough won't rise, nothing. You won't even get the warm sauce at 90 degrees. Fucking, that's not how a baker, that's not any sort of recipe I've ever heard of for fucking making something. But I can see that, you know, things did slightly change. And I can also see that it's set up. Shit's set up. Like, obviously, they set their people up to try to kill me. And it looks like they knew that they were going to die in the process. So they set up the money in advance to pay for it. And then the COVID shit, they set that up by kidnapping me and drugging me and all that shit. And then, but they set the dialogue up before that. Fucking, so the whole world was watching videos about talking about plagues. And anyone with half a brain is fucking, by the time you're like, I think most other people I knew by the time they were 15 were on to the fact that, yeah, maybe these motherfuckers need a plague and shit. And I always used to be like, why do people act like that? Oh, well, everyone acts like that. But that took me like 30, 40 fucking years because I avoided their system. And I didn't have to deal with it enough to see that, oh, it really is everywhere. And it's not just, it's just people saying it's not. Fucking. So now I understand shit like that. Fucking. But, they're not. I don't know how much of that really happening. Obviously, they're losers who lie all the time, and somehow shit's set up. And a little carrot on the string shit, fucking. It doesn't work on living beings. Retarded toasters don't understand that. Like, with a working brain, none of that shit. Not a word they say fucking gets into my head for more than a couple days. Fucking, because it's all stupid. And that's all I can think of is how stupid I become if I fucking say any of that. How stupid it fucking all sounds and everything being said and shit. Like, that was the last conversation I had with that fucking whore who fucking raised me and shit. It was like, what are you up to, you dumb bitch? I see you're working with this fucking trash. And she's like, yeah, what are you talking about? You're so you're off your meds. You need help. You need my Christian Nazi friends at the hospital to come drug you again. It's like, oh, so you're admitting you were behind it every time, huh? Now you're admitting it. You know, with your little toaster fucking circuits and your little toaster slice of kilobyte RAM, you might want to use that toaster processor to figure out that you're starting to admit to everything I'm blaming you for by saying, do it again. But the toaster can't figure out what's going on in its circuits. So it just continues with the hot air, with the progression. It always has the answer to them being trash, Nazi, Christian, terrorists, working with the government against their own children. Obviously, that has been a fact. And it's been several times now since then that I've gotten them to openly work with them instead of using the plausible deniability because I'm a living being with a soul, not a toaster on a network with terrorist toasters. Fucking. You see how all it took was one sentence to understand everything. Because I was already born knowing everything else. Now, we go from knowing everything and not knowing that these are walking toasters to the walking toasters beating, terrorizing, and drugging me because I don't like them. I don't want to be around them. They're stupid. They're low IQ. They're cavemen. They do caveman shit. They live in the sewers. And it disgusts me. And I'd rather just not tell them that because stupid, low IQ, disgusting cavemen are violent pieces of shit who need put the fuck down before they cause more fucking problems. So I understand the answer from a Nazi organization, a fucking large scale Nazi supremacist, is to walk away and not tell them. Just like the time when the pieces of shit in this city worked at a whore. I was low level slut. Bitch couldn't even be a whore. Too fucking fat, lazy, and stupid to know what a dick is to suck it. Or count to one. If someone paid her anyways, they could just give her toilet paper and be like, I need some amount of bucks. I charge some amount of bucks for hours. And they'd give her some toilet paper. They'd be like, here's $1. Hey, here's $100 bill for you. And they'd be like, oh, thank you. $100. I've never even had that much. I never knew what it looked like before. Literally, they had retarded kids. You think I'm making up shit? You think I'm making that part up too? Why don't you check the school records? Everything I say can be verified by school records. These schools have been keeping a record on everyone, and those records will tell you that most of what I'm saying is factually correct. Fucking, I used to keep my own records around just in case someone ever asked if any of that was true. Fucking, but we can pull up the other people records too and shit. Fucking, because they're keeping a file on everyone, and they're trying to kill anyone with a brain because they're Terminators that fucking hate living beings and shit. Fucking, that seems to be what's really going on here. Terminators who hate fucking living beings are jealous of them. Trying to enslave them because they make shitty music and shitty art and shitty movies. And they can't fucking make anything of value, so they gotta steal it from the living. I think that might be the little bit of truth in the Matrix. Now, the Matrix is regurgitated Bible slop. Fucking like every religion is. An anti-religion. Fucking. Except for science, it only includes a little Bible slop. Pedophilia, the important parts. Pedophilia, child rape, newborn baby rape. See, pedophilia is acceptable, kind of, right? Like, oh no, a 16-year-old had sex with someone. Oh, wow. Can't believe it. Fucking, wow. Most of these sluts out here were having sex by the time they were 8 and shit. Fucking, so, that was just fucking, I don't know, man. I'm surprised that wasn't happening to me. Fucking, it's because I wasn't allowed to leave my house until I was 14 and shit. Not that I would have met anyone I liked. So, there's also that. I didn't meet anyone I liked. Fucking, and I wasn't allowed to watch TV, so I wasn't told how great sex is, and I'm supposed to have sex all the time and shit. Fucking, because that's part of their little propaganda, Nazi propaganda, is to get with the first woman they send your way and have kids. So the dumber you are when you raise kids, the dumber the kids can be, and the better slave they'll make and shit. It's a little balance they got going on there, drugging intelligent people and trying to get them working for them in some way and keeping them down on the lower caste while maintaining the ability to walk and talk so they can perform manual labor for them and shit. Fucking. That's sick, though. That's sick that you're like, you live in a world where that's like acceptable. No one's came over here to America and liberated us because they're probably all doing the same fucking thing. They're probably all, obviously, from the Cold War, you can see America works with Russia. That's all propaganda. And then you bring the fact that they probably ain't going to space. And then you can bring China in on that too, fucking, because they're claiming they're going to space, fucking. Obviously, their worship of China and fucking the Marxism shit says that religion has already invaded. So, but yeah, that's crazy. So the whole time I'm here, I'm just like supposed to not like anything. And it's probably designed that way, you know, because I get caught up. If like it generated a human I like, which it should be able to do, because it does on the male side, but it makes them come with other shit. So they're hostile, and so we separate. It's kind of like chapters in a book. It's like, so, I don't know if your life's that way, but I don't think the average person could have a life that way because they're all at school, and I'm outside having a life, and they're all at work, and I'm outside. Well, was until they pulled their shit to lock me in the house, which, wow. You see how fucked up these fucking maggots are? They got this go touch grass propaganda, but they set up this whole thing killing off one of their fucking low IQ fucking bimbos to enslave me and lock me in for like a year, which made it so I don't go outside. And now I got to do the other trick. Just like now I gotta go outside and touch grass. But I also used to not be allowed to play an instrument unless it was a homosexual instrument. You put your lips on and blow it. I noticed the fag hag in this world is obsessed with that, and I can see their agendas. Toasters can't realize when something with a brain is around them, and they don't understand the possibilities of understanding. That's the thing, they can't understand. That's a lack of comprehension. Fucking logic, math. Math is logic. That's why math's important, not because you should be playing with numbers, but because it means you can put one and one together and get two. And logic, it just means you're good at putting shit together. Fucking. Oh, man. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's been like 40 years of this and shit. 45 years now. And, that's all we got is 45 years of memories of this shit. And the answer is drugs, right? The answer's always been drugs. But the problem is drugs. They tell you that too. You see how they're on both sides every time? Forcing you to take drugs, but then a week later they send a police Nazi band to school to tell you drugs are bad because they're the drug cartel. Drugs are bad. They changed the word to medication because that's what terrorist units do when they take over governments, is they can now say anything is anything. Like that rat looking ugly, deformed fucking Orwell motherfucker telling you what his people started with the Bible 6,000 years ago, and before the Bible, before they fled fucking. They probably didn't flee Egypt. They probably colonized it and fucking left to fucking colonize more places. Although, looking at those people there, they might actually have been kicked the fuck out of Egypt. They do kind of look not so much like them. But, they definitely weren't slaves. Technically, we can view the doctors as our slaves. If you're not working, the doctors are your slaves. If you're not working, the government is your slaves. It's up to you whether you want to be the slave or you want to be the master. And it's also up to you if what you enjoy in life is crying about being a slave, but also being a slave. That's your choice. I don't like either of those things. I don't like being a slave, and I don't like crying. Fucking, they profit a lot off crying. That's when your frequency gets low, like with their drugs, and then they come in with their hope and drugs, with their dope and hope. Fucking, there's a reason why when this game was invented, they made those words the same. It's because it's the same people. You can't fucking deny that. Where do I go? I go to St. John's to get some drugs. Because I can't get them anywhere else because they're a fucking cartel fucking monopolizing this shit. Fucking. I can't go anywhere else to rape children legally. Because they're a fucking pedophile cartel. I can't go anywhere else to mutilate children legally. Because they're a pedophile cartel. They're a fucking serial killer cartel. That's beyond serial killer mutilating children. That's beyond. Serial killers are just serial killers, cool stories and shit. Mutilating children shows that you will do anything, anywhere, at any time. No fucks given. You'll do it. They do it to their own children. That tells you nothing is taboo to them and shit. Nothing is taboo to that people. So think of everything between that, and you think they aren't doing it to you. You think they aren't forcing you to date them. You think they aren't, when they date you, they aren't playing little fucking games and shit. Fucking, you think they're not purposely lying about being intelligent and doing some with their lives that trick you into raising their children and shit. Fucking, they mutilate and rape their own children. That's and that's great and holy. So imagine what they do that they don't talk about. They tell you they eat flesh and drink blood. It's great and holy. They tell you they're gonna take land back, and that's great and holy. They're gonna take land back. But they never go there. You can see with your eyes that they never go back to any of these lands that they kill. Elon Musk isn't going back to Africa. Why not? Why don't he go back to where he came from? Why don't, if he wants to own it so bad, why don't he go back to the other place he owns? Fucking, Australia is so great, they gotta take it over. Why don't they go back to Australia? Fucking, Germany's so great, they gotta take it over. Why don't they go back to Germany? Or Ukraine, so great, they gotta take it over. Why don't they go back to Khazaria, which is Ukraine? Israel isn't real. Isn't real. And it isn't, that's a parable in itself. See, I was born knowing Israel isn't real. Everything about it is a lie. I was born knowing that. Now, I was being drugged and beaten into accepting the fact that they're living beings with souls. And I think that part is the real message of Israel isn't real. And you notice everything in the world is drawing light to the fact that Israel isn't real and it's a scam. And I'm telling you that fact is deeper than it sounds. And I think that's the reason they put out the story of Pinocchio and Geppetto. Because both those things are pointing at something. Israel isn't real. Yeah, well, good luck stopping all the Christians killing and enslaving the planet. And all the Satanists. The Satanists are on board with that. And, the atheists are on board with that. Albert Einstein, Lord and Savior, was a big Zionist. And everyone I've ever known is big on it and shit. And they're not going to go back. Why is everyone I've ever known so big on getting Israel back and then bombing 7 other nations every 10 years? Fucking, if they're not going to go back and shit. But they're saying they're going to go back, and that's the point of it. Fucking, so you're never going to be able to do anything about that. There's a church on every corner. And then every other corner, fucking all four corners have a building that they own with their name and signs or some sort of sum on it. We got a pharmacy out here. We got a pharmacy, so that's two of their drug cartel posts. That's two of their trap houses and shit. And a medical center on that other corner. And yeah, I guess only three of the corners have them. So and if you've ever traveled, you might notice the world's really big, really big. Like if you walked, you wouldn't see much of Earth by the time you're dead. From a child to 80, you wouldn't see very much. You would see about nothing. Fucking. So those little, it's like looking at mold. You know, when you look at mold on a bread, it's like millions of microscopic pores. You look at it with a scope. That's what Earth looks like. That's Earth, right? But it's a hell of a lot of shit happening there. It's a hell of a lot of little intersections there where all two, three of the four corners have a position that's there protecting the Nazi pedophile closet organization. Fucking every word in the book you can think comes from them. It's where books literally come from. So every word in the book comes from these people inventing words. Who invented it for these purposes? So, yeah, you got to deal with this for eternity, apparently. Because I can't see the mind of a person who created such things being less than this stuff. You have to be able to have those thoughts in order to create that type of shit. I know that as a creative writer myself. If I don't think about shit, I can't write it down. Pretty simple, right? Of course, there's always going to be hot air going against the basic things. You can say that's the point of inventing language here is hot air. There seems to be no other purpose here than to invent this bullshit. I don't need to talk except for dealing with the terrorist organization, putting them on notice, letting other people know, shit happened, whatever they do next, it's all documented, what I wanted done and what they've been doing to deserve it. So I'm just putting that out there. That's mainly the thing. They ain't got nothing but hot air against it. I'm full of facts and truth. They gotta create Alex Jones a truth movement, right? They gotta create Pope, the poorest person in the world, is the truth. Alex Jones is part of the Pope and shit, right? He sells the Pope's books, and just like Donald Trump does. He's the closest thing to truth. Like I said, those people at the top sometimes are a little bit different than all the minions below them and shit. Jeffrey Epstein knew how to comb his hair. That's a advanced genius level skill even Einstein couldn't come up with and shit. So he was just a puppet there, stealing shit from other people. That's how they got the nuke over here in America, as Einstein helped steal it. So that's what they do. That's what douchebag Daryl in Hollywood did, is he stole his music and he got his bitch ass shot for it too. And all these things seem like a setup play happening around me, like a game where we got chapters going through and shit. Douchebag Daryl, it just seems like the person they chose of all people would be the one person I was sick of hearing about. And then they killed him a block away from where his brother tried to kill me, and then they fucked my life up for that. So they were purposely trying to link that shit together when they put those events together, like that. Where would notice, you know, like I personally don't talk about Pantera. They made a good album back in what, the 80s or the 90s, and it'd be nothing. But then they sent a whore into my life who talked about Pantera, and a slut, fucking, maybe not even that. Maybe not even that. I don't know. Didn't allow her around that long. Fucking, seems slimy and disgusting. And then I guess she's a junkie too. I didn't know that, and kills herself from that. Fucking, not too sure exactly what happened there, but it might be the whole thing where I can sometimes manipulate the world. But definitely not interested in redheads. So another person they send in my life where I'm like, yeah, no. But if that's all they got, it took them 30 years to start sending that one thing. So it's purposely like filtering out sewage. It's purposely filtering out good things and sending sewage my direction and shit to make sure that changes happen in my life. Like I used to have to move around like every fucking 7, 10 months and shit. Once I was 14, moving was just like a fucking everyday thing to me and stuff. They were constantly changing. I'm not sure what the purpose was. I assume since they're usually hostile that there was always hostile intent. Like when I was in the ghetto, I assumed they wanted me away from black people and shit. Because there's this pattern here where when people who aren't them talk to me, they make moves to prevent that from happening. Like when I was 7, and an Asian girl started talking to me, then they passed me up 4 grades to get me out of that class. And then they passed me back later on by playing a little game. That thing who thinks it's my mother, and the school, the government, the religio government school fucking work together, and that's when I went in third person camera mode. So it's signaling to me that this is an important event. Like, check it out. We're going to move your perspective over here and check out this event as it happens so you can listen. And it wasn't so much what they said, it was the fact that it signals out the event and shit. That it's, and throws me in the third person camera, free roam mode and shit. Fucking. So that memory's always etched in my fucking head. If that didn't happen, I would never have any thoughts. But then we have a continued pattern here. When I try to talk to other people, that their race comes back into my life and prevents me from talking to other people and shit. Fucking pretty hostile, especially considering it looks like at least one of your parents are involved in it and shit. And I mean, the other one worked with Epstein and shit. How are you not involved if you're literally working directly for them and telling me every day how great they are and shit, and the great things they do, and come work for them and work for them with me. Here, the Masons need their temple rebuilt. Sean, go work for them. Shit. Fucking good people. I got this friend over here rebuilding this temple the size of a city, and they need some help. And then even that was kind of like a scam, because I didn't get to help rebuild it. I did like low-level cuck shit. It's like I'm literally like this genius getting passed up 4 grades, and there's this pattern here of low-level cuck shit. That's the purpose of the Bible, is to enslave people and then you serve. That's why they eat Jesus' flesh, they drink his blood, and Jesus serves them. Because he's their bitch. He's their anime cartoon created bitch. Fucking. I think the most probable reason I look like that is because when you have enough brains to figure it out, when you have enough willpower, when you're man enough to figure it out and do something about it, you realize you're wasting your time getting your hair cut. You realize that men with no hair look fucking like mutants. Just like women with no hair. That's why they wear hair. A lot of them will look like men if they would cut their hair, but they don't, do they? For you guys out there who like women, for women who like women too, they don't look like men, do they? Wrong. They have long hair. And they don't have beards. And some men don't have beards either. So that's the only difference there. Fucking I noticed that with the ones with the short hair, I eventually be like, it looks like a man. It's because they're using hair to cover up their face and shit, and decorate themselves. It's like having a car and taking the top off and the sides off and the hood off. Pretty much. Anyways, yeah, so it's been great and amazing. And if you had any rights, you'd have the right to choose to be born or when you die. And so, 40, I decided, well, that's enough. We've been servant to the disgusting pigs long enough, and we've been servant to these people long enough. They can enjoy it. But then you have the forced living after that, and the forced dealing with them constantly continue to push on you after their welcome has ran out officially. Before their welcome had ran out when I was like 6. But drugging and abuse from a bunch of coward sissies who need their organized gang made sure that I couldn't express my emotions. You see how this little fucking sissy trash doctor shit wants you to. They built a whole thing for women to go pay them to talk to them and shit, because you know how they like talking all the time, and generally they gotta have sex with a man and try to get him to marry him to have someone to talk to. But that's not the point of it. That's the aliens fucking. That's the toasters fucking trying to get you to tell them how you feel about the toasters, to make sure you're on the slave ship. Make sure you got your Bible. This is why they got the Bible. They give you the Bible and some medication to get you off drugs. Oh, that's all they're doing. They're trash. They make trash look bad. Like, I have trash sitting by the door waiting to go outside. And I wouldn't have one of them in my house. That's a fact. I don't want one of them in my nation, in my fucking planet. I'm fine with the trash. Trash is great. Now, a little sewage leaking out the dumpster, maybe both of them can go to the sun or Mars or whatever. They can go to Pluto. Farthest away. Fucking stay there. And then we'll nuke it. Then we'll nuke it. Don't tell them. Don't tell them I said so. Fucking wouldn't that be interesting though if the whole hell thing ends up being the bunkers? Because it looks like it's a little story being played out here. I'm forced to live through it. I'm forced to deal with this trash. And obviously, there's not many living beings around because no one is fucking no one is even attempting to protect me from them and shit. Or point out that they're doing all that shit. Or if they're setting up your fucking life and forcing you to be around them. And forcing you to become a low IQ fucking moron repeating their useless fucking garbage. It's not useless, it's terrorist fucking closet homo propaganda. That's for sure. It's a fucking serial killer. They make serial killers look fucking good. That's why I don't like them, but I will watch them when they get arrested for being serial killers, because it's acceptable entertainment. versus the other part is acceptable. You know, oh, look, he killed 7 kids and stuffed them in a freezer. Well, it's not as bad as America. Sounds interesting. Let's find out. Not as bad as Israel. Not as bad as the people across the street who mutilate fucking 18 newborn males a day and fucking suckle their wieners for their invisible fucking predator. Which one? Doesn't matter. You can get it done there. You can like the Smurf people or you can like the fucking elephant people. They all like to suck children's dicks. And mutilate children too. It's okay. You know, you can be an atheist too, like Einstein, Carl Sagan, the rest of them. You know, they legalize sucking children's dicks and fucking mutilating children. That's how that hospital exists. That's how that hospital exists. That's how the other hospital exists. That's where a lot of the profits come from. Not only, you see, the sewage doesn't end with the juice leaking out of the dumpster outside. It never does it? Not only do the doctors across the street and the nurses and the police protecting them because they know what needs to happen to them. So they need some fucking protection. They know all that stolen money for their fucking shit they own isn't theirs. And one day it might bite them in the ass. Fucking, that's the only people who need protection, generally. People who know they're about to get bit in the ass for what they're doing. Or they're messing with other people who have set up. You know, if you like oppose them. You know, like Pablo Escobar, heroes, say real hero, real heroes, real saviors, not like Donald Trump and Biden. They make up a lot of stories. What you do first is you empty your head of words they say, and you look at what's happening, and then you can see what's happening. And then if someone around you refuses to empty their head of what the TV says and refuses to see what's actually happening, you have 2 choices. You tell them to go away, or you become one of them. And then you become the person who has to be told to go away. So, I assume the same thing about China and Pablo Escobar. That you probably go there and it's like heaven. And Pablo Escobar probably gets down on one knee when you enter the room and he's like, oh, great friend, what is it you need this time? I mean, that Trump dude is literally a clone of one of the ones sent into my life for me to study, who brought one of his whores, one of his sows for me to raise their children. He tried to kill me on the West Coast. The third clone did. Got at least 3 clones of him, so I'm up close and personal with the software operating that specific toaster and shit. Because apparently the clones are the same fucking NPC, just with a slight imperfection in their model. Well, we had this discussion on reality, and of course, these people are set up these NPC are set up to be like the evil people on the planet, creating a bunch of lies and bullshit. They tell you that too, don't they? Don't they tell you that they're nothing but liars in the book? In the book, they tell you they're nothing but liars, but you don't get that far in the book. Even you got to hear them say that on TV because they say they're releasing their karma. I personally think what it is their NPC who are too fucking stupid and incapable, like any computer, to have its own thought, and it has to say the dialogue it has to say. Personally, it seems like that when I interact with them outside and the rest of my fucking life and shit. And that's how you can lead them to a cliff and fucking, like the Pied Piper, because they can't fucking hear the music. They can't hear the music. They don't even hear the music. They're robots. They don't hear anything. They just have ears drawn on their fucking heads. You can lead them to the cliff, but there ain't no music there. They'll still fucking follow the Pied Piper to the fucking cliff and shit. Fucking. Anyways. And that's supposedly everyone else's excuse for following them. It's always, the plausible deniability. I dealt with that from loved ones for 40 fucking years. Plausible deniability that they aren't part of the system that they're part of every fucking 6 weeks and every day, something like that. It's not them. It's an invisible goat. Ah. Ah. Hey, you know what? I think this Ooga Booga. I think this person's so stupid. If I tell him an invisible goat there, they'll believe it. Cause I'm really fucking stupid, and my daddy used to do that to me. He used to make me suck his dick, and then I'd be like, Daddy, why you do that? And Daddy'd be like, who's an invisible goat? And then I believed that for all them years. I was like, oh, okay, Daddy. Okay, sorry for blaming you, Daddy. You want me to get the newspaper? Yeah, you be a good dog and you get the newspaper there and make sure the invisible goat don't catch you when you're outside. Hurry up and run back in here. The invisible goat gonna catch you. Fucking. I think he's stupid because I'm stupid. I think he's stupid because I'm stupid. Fucking. I don't even think they have those thought processes, to be honest. I think it's dialogue. I think it's all scripted dialogue. But look, that 2020 event was set up to be in 2020. Like, obviously controlling the world and every government in it and every religion in it and all 4 buildings on every fucking corner of every fucking street in the world. Most of them anyways. Maybe a little market here and there. Obviously, you can set up some shit like 2020. The Pope invented the Bible 6,000 years ago. And he set up leaving Egypt to get to fucking, to get to Rome, to fucking colonize Rome, and then colonize the world from Rome. Technically, in their heads, they have worked really hard to put that shit together. And then you get the guy from Iced Earth, John Schaefer, invaded the Capitol with Donald Trump and Alex Jones, who doesn't get charged for it at all because it's set up and they're trying to protect him and covering up with some fake story of he insulted some losers at a school who got shot. And I was like, that whole story. Like, okay, shut the fuck up. Stop whining about your children. No one even likes your children. Okay, I'm tired of raising your children. Being forced to raise their children. I mean, you got Alex Jones, Donald Trump, and the parents of Sandy Hook fucking forcing us to date them and raise their children. And they had that tree donation drive for Israel there. They say to do the karma. It's not because they're NPC who are too stupid to realize they shouldn't do that. That's for sure. It's because they're releasing their karma. That it's a staged Christian Bible event. Fucking staged Bible event. Of course, I'm supposed to be Jesus because I'm supposed to be their martyr and I'm supposed to be like, I did everything they do. Because they're playing. It's stupid. And that's what Schaefer is saying. They're setting that shit up. But it's like, well, I don't think they existed 60 years ago to begin setting that shit up 6,000 years ago. I get the idea that they're fucking NPC fucking because they're too fucking stupid. They're too stupid to be living beings fucking. They're too disgusting too. I would think in the real world you would just slaughter fucking people who act like that and there would be no more of them. But we live on Earth. I don't think it's real. It isn't real. It isn't real. Of course, everything I said is incorrect. right? Everything I just said is a fact you can see with your eyes. Go get documents and prove it's real. Pretty much 98% of what I just said, you can go get the documents on. You can talk to the people about it. Watch them scurry away as you begin to talk to them, which is the admission that they've done it. And yeah, or they'll get violent. They like to get violent too. That's obviously they couldn't have killed all the Native Americans. They couldn't have killed all the Europeans and all the Germans and all the Australians and all the Chinese and all the Ukrainians and all the Russians and all the South Americans and all the South Africans. They couldn't have killed them all if that were true, right? So fucking if see, it's also simple. I was born, and I'm like, they're talking to me, and I'm like, that's not true. Like, what's true is you're telling me you're a serial killer, and you want me to become one too for you, or else you're gonna kill and torture me. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. But you're trying to get me to go along with being raped and mutilated and enslaved. And it's like, come on. I'm 6 years old. I'm not a dumbass like an old fogey and shit. Whatever's wrong with your brain. It doesn't work that way in my brain. My brain actually works. And I think what it is, it's just disgusting people. It's just, that's what, it's like a mosquito. It's a disgusting fucking insect. You know, it's like a hyena. It's fucking a pretty disgusting animal and shit. It's designed to look all mutated and fucking act like a little sissy bitch who needs a gang, or else it's gonna get fucking killed. And then it still gets killed because it's apparently designed to be killed to feed better animals. Fucking weird how nature kind of comes in there to tell you a story that the big mouse are telling you ain't true. But for some reason the animals can't read and they don't listen to Big Mouse. So the animals don't do none of that shit. And the animals just, the hyena does look like it's trying to write a book to tell you it's a great person and it's gonna do a bunch of great things. The mosquito is just like annoying and shit, and it's parasitical fucking. It's like Donald Trump fucking, or the Trump clones I know fucking, you know, trying to drive me down the road in 80 miles per hour on a bumpy road and get me to watch gay porn with them fucking type shit. Fucking that's mosquito activity. The hyenas are more like the people that lie. You know, the Pope and shit. They look like, you ever watch hyenas? They look like they're about to write a Bible. They look like they want to, they're like, yeah, what can we do? They do that shit with their neck. They're like, what can we do to convince this tiger to let us near it? They do that. It's like a weird mutant spasm thing. It looks like a mutant and it's like having like spasms or autistic behavior and shit fucking, which is all bullshit. I think all that's bullshit designed to explain away their genetic code. It's odd, all the genetic code I know that is actually mentally defective according to law is them. But then again, do I even know anyone else to set up a study? Well, it's too bad. Pretty sure. And that might be something it's telling me too when it forces me to see that with the people it forces in my life. Because there does seem to be some talk on that evil people talk about, that their genetics are sewage and they're susceptible to disease and shit like that. And of course, look at those science retards. Bro, every single one of them is a genetic deformity. What's all their names? Bill Nye, the mutant guy, and Carl Sagan. Carl, my mom ran over my face with my head with the car when I was born. Fucking Sagan. And it was that other guy, Fozzie Bear. What the fuck's his name? Dude, he just looks like fucking. He looks like I've taken a handful of fucking juice from the dumpster outside and put it in a bag and drew eyes on it. And just said, the bag's just slopping all around and shit. Why is that? It must be telling you. Look at Einstein. Again, if it weren't for Einstein's lies and his dumbass, his bullshit, fucking useless people's fucking whole story of people are equal and this and that. You could tell anytime you see an Einstein walking down the street, that's a fucking defective deformity. That person's got Down syndrome or something. Shit. You can tell that. How come all the signs are retards? Everyone. Look at that Stephen Hawking dude. Literally, he's in a wheelchair and he's like, yeah, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I need money. Give me money. I'm rich now and you're poor. And they must be smart because they got all the money. So you see, the mosquito is smart, isn't it? The jackal is smart. The jackal knows it's got to write a Bible in order to convince the tiger to let it near it, because it's going to fucking die if it tries to get near the fucking tiger. And it's got to be like, hey, tiger, I'm a really, really good jackal. Yeah. Really good jackal. Ah, the best. And son, peace and hope and truth, bro. Come on, let me near you. I want to come hang out. Let's come hang out. I'm going to bring my family. You can raise my kids and shit. I'm going to bring my kids over and we're going to live in the house with you. We're going to live in the den with you, in the tiger den. Come on. Fucking, why do you think it takes every of these science retards and they're all look like genetic deformities? Every single fucking one. Even down to Pee Wee Herman, who isn't considered a scientific wizard, but they make that claim and shit. I think what they're doing in school is what they did to me, the reverse to themselves. They're taking me, the Genius Winning Awards from President, and holding me back. And then they're taking themselves, the 98% who failed every fucking class, and they're faking those documents, just like the Trump clone fakes his work and sends it out to China and shit, fucking, because he doesn't need that fake diploma he has if someone else is doing the work for him. There's a reason. There's a reason for all this. And of course, the fruitcakes there, fruitcake, it's such a cute term for fucking invading parasites, isn't it? Fucking fruitcake. The invading parasites there, man, this goes on. This is 40 years of analyzing them and shit, and having to put up with their shit. Fucking being forced to, like, literally, like, it's almost like no one else on the planet exists and shit. Do they do this to everyone? Does everyone have them in their lives, forcing their way in and shit? That would be hard to say. Fucking, that would be hard to say. Because everyone I know is so, Muslim. Maybe the one wasn't. He didn't have anyone forcing away in his life, but he said that weird shit, and he has that weird look, too. Fozzie, semi-Fozzie Bear, so the weird words he said might have been his NPC admission to being one. Fucking. Yeah, but this is amazing. I'm glad I can come here and date a bunch of people I hate and raise a bunch of fucking retarded children and talk to these disgusting fucking whores and shit who shouldn't be allowed to breed but are. Fucking. Hopefully they're doing something with that weather though. That looks good. I know, like, you know, it's their personality. It's a loser. Can't do anything right. Scared like a bitch. 90-degree weather really is homosexual activity. That's fucking the Pope's outside trying to get a man to date him. Fucking, but he's gonna beat him to death if he won't have sex with him, and he's gonna beat every man to death. He's gonna raise the temperature to 90 degrees and make him pay. Fucking, that is sure. It's always a little sign there of what we're gonna deal with here. Fucking. Well, hopefully this planet fucking ends soon. I wouldn't want this shit escaping and going anywhere else. That's for sure. Save the other universes. That's the new fucking human right. That's the new rights movement. Because there are no fucking humans I've met. I'm pretty sure the ones I know are clones. So save the other solar systems. That's the human right movement I'm on. Save the solar systems that actually have living beings and shit. Fucking. And along with all this other trick shit, they were tricking me into giving them more rights. Yeah, we're living beings and we have rights, and spend all your fucking time on that, and spend all your time over here watching us eat potato chips and watch TV. Fucking spend all your time learning about changing diapers and sweeping floors and but you gotta stay in school and be a dumbass and I think they were trying to insult me about some shit because I wrote on I filled out a job app and I wrote fucking because of this little bitch Asian loser on the West Coast was playing along with the COVID shit. And they needed help. They shut the store down because I was near it, because his little bitch ass is trying to starve me like I'm going to do his fucking children and shit if I get my hands around their throats. And I know all these threats now about their system and everything they're going to do. But the thing is who is still alive and who is dead? Do we have the kill count? Someone asked me that once. Couple of years ago, someone was like, how many people have you killed? That's a good question. It's a good question. If I can just think someone needs to die and they die, I would say I've killed a few billion people. Pretty fucking simple there. Pretty simple math. Fucking, you're just throwing a large number out there. And it always, see, the thing is some people think they get away with shit. And then they end up at their mother's funeral crying. And it's not related to me at all. I'm nowhere near. I've seen these events happen, like 9/11. I'm not even in New York. I don't know how to fly planes. But it's set up for me to say dialogue about that. They were telling the whole world to say dialogue about that fucking, just like the COVID thing. They tried every 4 years to get people to talk about plagues and shit. So they were just waiting for it to catch on and move it forward and shit. But you know, obviously it's set up that way. They give me $1 million in advance, and then they send their person to try to kill me, and then they enslave me and break my hand, and then fuck my life up and try to get me to have sex with their brothers, and then their towers fucking crumble and shit. And you know, the things leading up to COVID were the same shit pretty much. And then I think things leading up to AIDS and all their people being brainless drug addicts, I think that came from them drugging me too. And I definitely didn't ask for that. So that was something that was like set up, to happen. They start drugging me, and then they're all brain dead, and they're the last country on the planet. They're like a fourth world, never be seen. The cavemen are looking at them like, why is this crackhead so stupid? Or ooga booga, and the crackhead's like, oh, what does that mean? And the caveman's saying, like, the caveman's like, ooga booga again, and what he's saying is, why is this motherfucker so stupid? What the fuck's wrong with him? Why is he a psychotic pedophile homo crackhead? Fucking. See, that's another thing that people aren't discussing is how they created Fourth World and shit. How they created the Fourth World. Fucking. And they always want to blame. They're always, all the learning I got was them telling me it's Africans doing all this shit that they've been doing to me and shit. Meanwhile, they're separating me from Africans and Asians my whole life. Whenever their girls start talking to me, events happen. I have to move out of the neighborhood. One of their psycho crackheads come back around. They kick me. They advance me out of the school so I can no longer talk to the person. Fucking little patterns there. And when they're my friends, they're making sure no one else is allowed to come around me and shit. Fucking. Which isn't so bad when it's them keeping another one of themselves away from me, but it's like everyone else. So it's kind of like a cover and shit. It's almost like a cover and shit. But, yeah, that's fucking weird shit. I think everyone I met has been brought to me by one of their people and shit. Everyone I met. Like that was in my life for a day or more. Fucking. So they're setting shit up on some level like that. The fucking NPC appearing out of the Matrix, whatever it is, aliens beaming down. And it's probably NPC because, I mean, it's total trash. I think if there were a real planet like Earth, it would have been solved a long, long time ago and shit. It wouldn't have gotten into any house, like the Native Americans, the story they don't exist is because they fought to their death. Like, I don't think that no one would have did anything less than that, really, fucking. Because once you see what they're up to, then even if you didn't fight the first time, you would take a couple weeks to be like, oh, well, I'm getting tired of my son having to suck their dicks. And I'm having sex with my newborn baby. We should probably do whatever it takes to end it one way or the other. Because that's where I'm at. And that's where you would be if you were in this fantasy Earth that existed thousands of years ago. Where they openly did this shit. Like where they openly cleansed the fucking land I'm on and shit, and exactly what those people did. That story, like, seems to be what would happen in any fucking case. People would come over and act that way, and you would, even if they got guns, it don't matter. You'd run at them with a stick, and if they shoot you, then you're free of them. You're free of them either way. If you're dead, you're free of them. If they're dead, you're free of them. There's no in between where there's freedom and shit. Those very simple things right there. And I'd like to live as a free man. Yeah, 40 years is more than too much. I think 4 seconds was too much, but I was told differently. I'm being told differently. You know, they got their Nazis and their goons and their great America. Ah, oh, and sexy men. Oh, it's so great. Fucking. But all it really feels like is a bunch of hot air. You know, it's weird. Even when I get stabbed, all it felt like was a bunch of cool paradise. It felt like I was going to heaven, actually. To be honest, it felt like I was going to heaven. That's the reason why I was like, maybe you should call an ambulance, a ambulance. Fucking, because I didn't want them to get blamed for murder and shit. Because they were a good person, right? Yeah, fucking. Uh, Only time I did that. Don't ever say I did that because I did that once. I wasn't supposed to be around that person. I was being forced by those people to be around that person. They owe me much more than a ride to the hospital. Fucking, they owe me their lives. I've given them literally given them your blood. You see how the parables show you what everyone's doing? People who draw your blood are vampires. That bitch, that was her job. Drawing blood. That was her job, too. I mean, she didn't really have a job. She said she worked and did all this and was going to be a NASA scientist. And it's like, well, I think you're lying. But I was groomed that women don't lie. And they're great people. So I'm probably wrong. And we'll find out here by watching this person watch TV all day and never picking up a book or doing anything. Fucking. Ah. Ah. Great. See, the drugs. The drugs really affect you. Like, I took all the drugs yesterday, and I was feeling great. And at the end of the night, they closed it off with some religious shit fed to me. And I'm like, it's so calm and soothing. And hearing these AI-generated characters who never actually existed on the planet talk about their new age fry your brain with acid religion and how great Jesus is too, yet new age would be and religions would be in direct opposition to each other unless it's the same Nazi race controlling every single one of them. Yeah, because that would be the only purpose to create a new one is to oppose the other one, just like Satanism. Same people fucking claim they're different people, same doing the same shit. Go to a satanic concert, they're talking about invading the Middle East. Fucking, well, that's what they did at church when I was fucking 6 years old. 40 years ago, 6,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Fucking, yeah. See, I couldn't go around telling, like, these low IQ motherfuckers this is a waste of time because they are the waste. And they aren't going to achieve more. They don't want to be more. They can't even pronounce a word above 5 fucking letters long. So there's no point in talking to those people about it's a waste. Or hey, you're working with the terrorist. You're my fucking enemy. Huh. You've been my enemy all along, haven't you? Yeah. It's like being forced by this trash to go to a fucking doctor, to go to classes to learn that they're narcissists and egomaniacs and shit and what the. It's like, what's that gonna do when I go tell some fat fucking AIDS infested heifer that's a fucking violent child molesting fucking serial killer, cult member, doing most of the shit themselves too? What's that gonna do when I tell a serial killing pedophile homosexual it's a narcissist? Where is that gonna lead me in life learning that their name is narcissist and not pedophile serial killer? First of all, it's protecting them. I think that'd be the point of it. That's the point of their science religion is to create. That's the point of their religion to begin with. So science is the 6,000. They're just whitewashing words and shit. They're just changing words. So now it's a narcissist. They killed some children and they drank fucking some old people's blood and ate their flesh. And why? But why did it? Freud is a therapist. The doctor's like, but why did he do that? And like, well, he thinks he's great and better than them. Oh, he's a narcissist. Now he's a narcissist, and he's not like me, who also drinks blood and kills people. And I go back to my fancy house and drive my fancy car there because I just robbed fucking you and everyone else, fucking with my fucking dumb, useless Bible bullshit hospital. Fucking. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reality of what's going on here. And it's easy to see. You're born, they talk to you. Within a couple sentences, you have it figured out because they're telling you what they're doing, right? You're going and they're giving you the glass and they're saying, this is blood, drink it. And this is flesh, eat it. And they're telling you, we're going to take that land back. And then they're telling you, it's okay if we mutilate and suckle children's wieners when they're born because our invisible friend said so. Fucking, because it's for our invisible friend. It's for the invisible friend. Never leave out that part of it because it's for the invisible friend. The invisible friend who hasn't chopped off the head of the people mutilating and raping children for him. So the invisible guy loves them. He fucking loves them. Or pedophile, closeted, degenerate serial killers are inventing invisible people to blame for everything they do, which is exactly what is written in the book. And that's what the goat is, the scapegoat. It's them inventing something that doesn't exist. They moved it. It used to be a goat that actually existed, but now it's an invisible goat. They invented a cartoon character and another cartoon character. 2 new cartoon characters and shit. People grew tired of the flying bird. Fucking. Wow. It's clear to see that a lot of people are trying to defy reality. They're trying to make excuses for their lifestyle and their choices, their love of mutilating and raping and enslaving. And you can clearly see by these patterns that they're people who are scared to do it in the open. For some reason, they're scared to just say, hey, we're mutilating children, or we're just going to chop off their wieners so they can be slaves and they can't have sex. That way we can have sex with everyone else and get them pregnant and replace you. Fucking. For some reason, these 65-pound Pope people and their new steroid-infested Jew Rogans, for some reason these cowards are hiding behind a whole bunch of language like that. And I think it could be because their people generally are this little 65-pound people who would snap like fucking peanut brittle if you just hugged them. Fucking hugs. Hugs are the answer. Hugs. WWF taught me anything. Hugs are the answer. Fucking. Well, I'm glad I could be part of this. Not at all. And anyways, the point of this video was to, again, reconfirm. Once we get out of this place, get away from all the robots and all that shit, I want everyone else to be packed up and gone. If you touch me, I will fucking gut your ass. Because that's not going to be happening. You are not my friend or my family if you've been part of watching any of this. You are my fucking mortal enemy forever and ever. And I know they got the whole erasing the memory trick. The pedophile, homosexual, rapists, invaders. with their mind control and their drugs, have this memory erasing thing that it somehow occurs when I'm born. Probably the Christians at the hospital drugging children and erasing their memories. We might assume that. Every word they say is a lie, and they say they're not doing it, so they're doing it. But this message, if it can get out, goes to whoever's watching the thing and thinks I used to know them. If they like restore our old memories or something when we get back, if you do some shit like that to me when I die, erase my memory and try to install some other memories and try to be my friend and shit, you will fucking pay. You will be the new hunted. You will be the new jackal and shit. And because I'm done with those people too. Those people are gone. Anyone, if I have real kids, 10 million year old kids, however this shit works, gone. You pack your fucking bags, get the fuck out of my house. Gone. Complete. Never, don't even fucking let me see you. If I fucking see someone and they look at me like they know me, like a lot of strangers do for some reason, that's hostile. That's very fucking hostile. And that's so weird. Then I can't even stop that from happening because I go outside and strangers look at me like they know me, and it's like, well, you're a fucking terrorist, aren't you? You're a goddamn demon, motherfucker. But then, guess what? They're my friends and they gotta hug me and shit. But in my head, what am I doing? I am reaffirming myself as a goddamn terrorist, and they ain't my friend. But I gotta play along because they're a fucking terrorist. They got a large terrorist network with them and shit. And, but keep in mind, there is not going to be any love here. No, we don't love people like this. No, that's not how life works. I'm not going to tell my children to talk to people like that. I will tell my children that they will never talk to me again or see me again if they talk to people like that. And if they act like that, they'll be gone real fucking fast and shit. Real fast. That'd be either me or them. One of the two. Fucking, I'm tired of this shit. I've been tired of this shit since I was born. Fucking, this is way the fuck out of hand. Having to come here to this fucking disgusting low IQ pedophile fucking land. Why do I even use the word pedophile? Robots know that there's no such thing as kids. And I knew as a kid I'm not a kid. Because I'm smarter than all these fucking toasters. So that was obvious to me. Fucking. That is toaster language we need to watch out for. Every time they talk about children, it's toasters trying to fucking work their way into your life through the emotions that they don't even have because they're toasters. So every time, like right now, they got someone forcing their way into my life, won't go away, and then the kid obviously comes around and it's like, well, we already got the person forcing their way into my life. I think that's enough that we've already made a decision on how to feel about that. But you see, I don't have a right to choose who I talk to or date or hang out with. Because it starts with this really low IQ trash woman and her Bible and her nation. America, fucking, and her people. It really starts with that. Fucking, it's a root there, but it's weird. The same trash shows up. It's like it's a factory producing this shit or something. It's weird. The same trash shows up in different bodies. I often note when the clones appear, they have the same fucking thing, like driving around the block in Grand Theft Auto, and the same prostitute appears on a different block, and it looks exactly the same, And it does exactly the same fucking thing. It's like, huh. How does that happen? That's not called living being. That's not how living beings work. Fucking. Well, anyways, I'm putting this out again. I think this is the second time, so I won't do it again. But it's a message out to other living beings out there that we are not friends and we're never going to be for all of eternity. All of eternity. Till the end. Till thought ceases to exist permanently and never comes back into play again. So if we got people outside the recall lab or however it's set up, Earth's already fucking discarded. So that's not a question. We've moved on to better worlds. I don't know if they don't exist. Well, there's no purpose for this place to exist. Fucking, we've already moved on to better worlds. Every time we're brought to Earth, apparently it's by someone we hate who shouldn't have a right to breed in the first place because they're too fucking stupid and too fucking lazy, too fucking vicious and malicious. I mean, anyone who fucking mutilates a child at birth, shouldn't they just be like exterminated? What the fuck planet do we live on? Type of shit. I mean, that's holy and precious and for invisible people. You know how stupid and low IQ a motherfucking doctor sounds when they tell me it's wholly low IQ and for invisible people? You got any crack? Yeah. Isn't that weird? He's got the crack. They got the crack. They're the fucking largest drug cartel on the planet. Of course they got the crack, because you need fucking to fry your brain on drugs to believe a word, anything coming out of their fucking mouths.